Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday the 4th of July 2025. In today's Mill news, it is the second anniversary of the passing of John Berylson, and we shall remember him. Today's date, the 4th of July, is quite famous, especially in America. It's the anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and it's celebrated quite robustly with lots of fun. It's a public holiday, many barbecues, and loads and loads of fireworks. But I think for most Mill fans right now and going forward into the future, we shall remember this date as the chance to remember and give thanks to the life of John Berylson and how he impacted and shaped Millwall Football Club and basically saved them and brought us many good times, which after a little bit of a shaky start, Joe Edwards situation and other stuff, we now 2 years on, this season looks to be an amazing season under James Berylson. James Berylson's absolutely started to hit all the right notes, and he's doing extremely well. Generating cash from player sales, which is going back into the squad, building up the training ground, the one that we have, bought it back, Calmont Road. Then, also as well as restarting and starting to work on the West Kingsdown training ground. That's going to take a while, but it is slowly moving forward, and the club is being transformed under James Berylson. It's being built up in a systematic way, much like you've seen various other kind of regional English football clubs in such as Brentford and Brighton and Bournemouth. Young people look at them now and they don't know a time when those clubs were they weren't what they are now. They're very much on their knees, struggling with poor facilities. And you see Bournemouth, very much entrenched in the Premier League, although they might have trouble next season. But they do bring in the players and then they sell them on, and that keeps them going. They've got the new ground, new facilities. Brentford as well. Brentford, outstanding. Look at what Brentford have done. And we're seeing our club being transformed under James Berylson. Not only that, but you look up and down Ilderton Road. There is like massive tower blocks going up there now, residential tower blocks of the modern style, and the area is going to be transformed. The area that was once the Surrey Canal, shipping wood off and in around the world, is now it's been filled in. It's a road, and the area, the light industry that moved in the 70s and 80s after all of the docks left is finally being transformed, being built upon, and we're going to see that transformation. It's Millwall, under James Berylson, and previously John Berylson as well. The extension of the lease at Millwall to 1,000 years, 999 years, which effectively means that Mill will now own the Den, basically. And we're going to see, there are things going on at the ground at the moment, in terms of the exec boxes and the exec lounge and stuff like that. The safe standing, and we're going to see it's going to start, improving and changing and getting better and better and better. And, that started under John Berylson. It's continuing under James Berylson quite strategically. So, today, on the 4th of July, we remember John Berylson. May his memory be a blessing. Now, moving on to other Millwall news. The fixtures, the movements got announced, the changes got announced today, as expected. It was supposed to be yesterday, but we believe it got postponed because of the passing of Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva in a Lamborghini crash. This is from millfc.co.uk. Fixture movement in Mill's 25-26 calendar. Mill's 3 September Sky Bet Championship matches have been moved for live coverage on Sky Sports. Yes, every single game we have in September has been moved. We only have 3 because there's an international break. In addition, so we've had 3 games moved for Sky, bizarrely all in the same month. But other than there are other changes that have been taking place further down the line. So, in addition, 3 fixtures later in the 25-26 season have also seen their kick-off times moved. Firstly, the South London derby against Charlton Athletic on Saturday the 13th of September will now kick off at 12:30 p.m. Now, isn't that convenient? And it will be shown on Sky Sports Football, so it's on the main channel, it's on the transmission channel rather than Sky Sports Plus. Isn't that convenient? Because obviously we play them the week after, the international break, and I don't know how it breaks down. I would imagine we've got probably more internationals than they do. So they're trying to give them a helping hand, moving it to an early kickoff. Because obviously after the players come back from the international break on that Wednesday, so you've got Thursday, Friday, and then you've got a early kickoff on the Saturday. So clearly trying to help them out and give them any advantage they can to end their horrible streak against Millwall Football Club, which we hope they don't do we? We hope they don't do anything. And the home fixture against Watford is also being shown on the same channel, and that it was scheduled for Saturday the 20th of September, has been moved to Monday the 22nd, and it again is a kickoff at 8 p.m. So yeah, I think that's quite brutal. A lot of people moaning about that one, because it's a Monday night. I don't think that's a bit early for half term. When's half term? Half term is usually about around when Halloween is, isn't it? Just before or the week after, the week before Halloween. So I don't know why they don't put a lot more midweek games during the school holidays. I guess because probably people travel on little breaks, but that would be a good idea. But yeah, this has been moved to Monday the 22nd of September. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff, so that's not ideal. Because if you buy, like a lot of people moaning because they bought season tickets, and you now have to make an extra effort and like a lot of people, they have their weekday life and their weekend life. If you work in an office or that kind of thing, you have your Monday to Friday, and then you're off for the weekend. So you have to make plans now. You have to rearrange everything. What are you going to do? Can you even make the game? Do you have to go by public transport instead of driving? Because you get what do you do? Or do you just stay at home and watch it on Sky, which I'm sure Sky will be delighted with. But obviously, if you're paying for a season ticket, I think if you do the maths, there's a certain number of games where once you miss them, it doesn't make sense for you to have a season ticket, unless, of course, obviously it gets you in front of the queue for cup games and playoffs if we get there. So that obviously there's a benefit that way. But in terms of just pure cash financial, if you pay match by match with a membership, which gives you a £3 discount, and then another £3 if you buy in advance, so a £6 discount if you buy in advance. If you can't make a game, even though you've got a season ticket, you're losing money, unless you can find a mate who will take it off you, cash value. You can give your card, but then you trust them, because it's not like You can't just give some random person your season ticket card and then say, "Oh, can I have that back?" Yeah, don't. That's not going to work. So you need a mate who doesn't go, who's a fair weather, but then you say, "Oh, do you want to use my ticket?" Finally, the trip to Swansea City on Saturday, the 27th of September, has seen its kickoff brought forward to 12:30. Of course, it's always Saturday at 12:30, as it was last season, and that will be shown on Sky Sports Plus. So we've got two that have been moved, and to be shown on Sky's transmission channels, Sky Sports Football, and we've got one that's just been moved for Sky Sports Plus. Now, so what that means is this is it now. So this is, I'll show you now. So the selection is TV game selection process from EFL.com. By the 3rd of July, it was the 4th of July, selection shall be announced in respect of all live broadcasting matches to be played before the end of September. So all of the games from the start of the season to the end of September are now set. They shouldn't really be moved anymore. So, in terms of if you need to book travel, if you're coming from a long distance, you're coming from overseas, maybe you work shift, you don't work a Monday to Friday 9 to 5, you need to book time off of work from your factory, restaurant, wherever you work, I don't know. You can do that now. But by the end of the month, so by the 31st of July, which I think is after all of our announced pre-season friendlies have been taken place. We should have one more after this. Selection shall be announced in respect to all matches scheduled to be played prior to the end of the third round of the FA Cup, which is the second week of January. So at the end of this month, you can book yourselves all the way to the end of the year and the first week of January. So there you go. So what that does mean is they haven't moved Norwich, Middlesbrough, Sheffield United and Wrexham. But that's a Wrexham home game. These are all still 3 p.m. kickoffs. And it's, as it says here, by the 31st of July, they say it here, I should have just said so now. By the 31st of July 2025, selection shall be announced in respect of all matches scheduled to be played prior to the end of the third round of the FA Cup. Elsewhere, following agreement between both clubs in consultation with the police, Mills matches away at Queen's Park Rangers and at home to Charlton will now kick off at 12:30. Yeah, so there you go. So basically the safety advisory group. Now here's the thing, however. What if they get moved? So obviously Millwall and the police have moved the kickoffs for these games, but Sky still have to make selections, as mentioned, by the end of the month. So Sky will make their selections, but the QPR game could still be moved again. So the most likely way that our games are moved is to Saturday at 12:30. So these have both moved to Saturday at 12:30. There was 3 o'clock. No, they're 12:30. So the likelihood if Sky does pick up the QPR game, obviously the one before they did, that was at 12:30, wasn't it? So it might stay where it is. But, what if they want to move it to Sunday? What if they want it Friday night? But the police will probably say, we're not having it. Sorry. And they can do that. Safety Advisory Group can technically do that. But obviously, so that's by the end of the month that they'll know about that. But this Charlton game, the home game, that's the 24th of January. So we won't know about that one until, I think, November, they said. So that could change again. And this one here, furthermore, the Easter Monday visit of Norwich City to the home game on Easter Monday the 6th of April, has been moved forward to 1 p.m. So again, Easter Monday, that's 6th of April, hopefully, you know, we should be at the top of the table competing. Not the top, but near the top. Although, you know, I wouldn't rule it out. If Norwich are up there as well, this is most likely to you know, draw the Sauron eyes of Sky. And the kickoff could be moved again. Now, it would stay on Easter Monday because you can't move the day. Because you play Friday, Monday. You can't move it to the Sunday. Not really move it to the Tuesday. Maybe you could. But I doubt it. They would do that. So, you know, the kickoff could be moved again because Sky pick it up for television. So, there you go. So this is just a roundup of everything that's going on. But we can do... So what we're going to do now is look at Mill's fixtures on millfc.co.uk's page. By the way, I'll tell you about this in a minute. You probably... CrystalPalace, Saturday 12th of July, 12 p.m. More on that later. Stay tuned. We still don't know who we're playing on the 18th of July. Haven't announced it yet. You know. Interesting. Is it going to be someone big or is it going to be a dud? You know, the expectation, obviously with Northampton Town, that was a bit of a dud when that got announced. You know, we're going to Spain. Hey, who are we going to play? Northampton Town? Northampton Town? So these are all the pre-season friendlies. First game in the season. So these games have been confirmed. Norwich City away, 3 p.m. Get on it, book it. This one, that's the League Cup game. We don't even know if that's going to be on Tuesday. It's an away game, so we don't get to decide it. Middlesbrough at the Den. Josh Coburn versus his former club. Saturday the 16th, 3 p.m. Locked in. Saturday the 23rd, away to Sheffield United. Locked in. Book your tickets. Locked in. Saturday the 30th of August at Wrexham at home. 3 p.m. kickoff. Locked in. Then we have the international break in between the Wrexham game and the Charlton game. And you can see there's only 3 games in September and they've all been moved. Charlton Athletics, Saturday 12:30 kickoff. Watford at home, Monday at 8 p.m. Interesting. And Swansea away, 12:30. So 2 aways at an early kickoff. So, you know, travelling all the way out west to Swansea for a 12:30 kickoff, you know. Got to wake up early for that one. I wonder what time the fucking coaches will leave the Den. Probably 3 a.m. or something like that. Madness. I don't know why they just don't. Why don't they just let the coaches leave at 12:30 and, you know, take the long way round, or just go to a services and park up for an hour or two? Why they leave it like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. don't make no sense. Travel overnight, let people have a kip. But, you know, what are you going to do? But these games could, so Coventry and onwards, they could still change. Although that probably won't change because it's a midweek game, but, you know. Yeah. So there you go. That's the TV games that have been announced so far. We'll wait until the end of the month before they have the next round. So let's have a look at what they've done. This is from SkySports.com. This is like, we've just seen the Millwall games that have been moved. But what about, is anyone else getting, you know, fucked over? You know, Leeds have left the division, so who's the new Leeds? Who's going to be selected every week? I strongly suspect that it'll be Wrexham, because, you know, although obviously Wrexham, a lot of their fans in America, they can watch the games anyway. They just they can watch the Saturday 3 o'clocks. Doesn't matter, you know, they can just watch it. So these are games so far. Now, Saturday the 9th, every single game on Saturday the 9th is going to be shown because there's no Premier League football. So I think they're allowed to show it because they've moved half the games, and half the games are going to be at 3 o'clock, so they're allowed. But they have not listed all of the games. They could not be bothered to list the games that are going to be on. Our game against Norwich is going to be on Sky Sports Plus at 3 o'clock. But they couldn't be bothered to list it. You know, it's symptomatic of, you know, the country's gone down the dogs. That This is their website. They're trying to advertise the games that they've got on their services, and they can't even be bothered to list the fucking games that they got. Absolutely fucking shower of shit. So that's opening weekend. And then the week after, you can see Wrexham again. Oh, isn't that funny? So Wrexham, hope the Wrexham fans like getting up early, because they've got 2 games in a week at 12:30. Charlton, Leicester on Saturday the 23rd. Leicester again, a lot of Leicester. Leicester on Saturday the 23rd, and Leicester Friday night game. So it looks like Leicester are the new Leeds, which I don't know about that, because I heard they were going to get hit with some kind of like sanctions or something, so they might be on like minus 10 points or something. There's a lot of clubs in trouble, We spoke about it yesterday with Hull and Sheffield Wednesday. Leicester City could be in a bit of trouble as well. Charlton again. Why? Charlton are a really bad footballing team. Why do you keep putting them on? They've got QPR versus Charlton. Ipswich Sheffield United. Charlton versus Millwall. Leicester again. There you go. Southampton Portsmouth, that's got to be there. That's a Sunday at 12 o'clock. No surprise there. That's going to be a ding-dong battle, innit? That's going to be a bit tasty. And here we go again, Leicester. Yep. Mill versus Watford on the Monday night. Leicester again on a Friday night. Yeah, I think Leicester are the team so far, but I mean, if they get a points deduction or they get some kind of other penalty, it could be a bit problematic having them on all the time, so they might switch to someone else. So there you go. There's the games that got selected. Now, it also got decided, but we won't find out, but the Carabao Cup, because we don't know who we got in the first round. We got the shit end of the stick in this first round draw. We got the team that comes through the preliminary round, and we don't know who that is, and we're not going to know who that is until the week before we play them, or 6 days. Absolutely ridiculous situation because of, the teams in the Premier League being involved in Europe. But one of them isn't, so does that change it? What happens to CrystalPalace? They still get the bye to the 3rd round, even though they're going to get kicked out of Europe because they broke the rules? What are we doing here? They should be kicked out of the 3rd round as well. They should be made, they should draw that out. When all of the teams that go through into the 3rd round, they should draw it rather than just letting Palace walk through into the 3rd round. They should draw for the bye. Shouldn't let Palace have it. They broke the rules. They got kicked out by UEFA, and you're going to give them a bye to the 3rd round. Absolutely ridiculous. Again, this is ridiculous as well. So the game is supposed to be on the 5th of August. Barnet have moved it forward to basically act as like a fucking pre-season game. They moved it before the kick-off of the season. But Ackland, Stanley... Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Well, that's better for us because we get 2 weeks' notice then. I didn't know that. Okay, I thought their game was going to be on the 5th of August. Oh, well, that's a touch. We get 2 weeks' notice. So yeah, I just seen this now. We get 2 weeks' notice, not a week's notice. We get 2 weeks' notice. The game was supposed to be on the 5th of August. I guess they got permission from the EFL to have it the week before the season starts, which is a touch for us. So we're going to find out on the 29th of July. Literally the day that we play Sutton away in a pre-season friendly, we're going to find out who we play between Barnet or Newport County. So we're going to find out if we have a massive long journey all the way out to Newport County, or whether we can get the Northern line up to High Barnet and go and watch Barnet. Or I don't know. They've got a new ground now. I don't know where they've moved to. Is it near Barnet? But yeah, these are So we don't even know if our game's going to be on Tuesday the 12th or Wednesday. There is one game on a Wednesday, Cheltenham versus Exeter. I don't know why that would be on a Wednesday. Is that because there's some other game nearby that's... Don't know about that. Where is Cheltenham? Cheltenham is in Gloucestershire, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why they would move that to a Wednesday. It's not like it's on TV. They've chosen Birmingham versus Sheffield United for TV, and they have chosen Bromley versus Ipswich. Wow, that is a good game for TV. Bromley versus Ipswich, Sky Sports Football on Tuesday. But one thing to note: the schedule for the preliminary round and round 1 of the Carabao Cup has been confirmed, with all 37 ties set to air live on Sky Sports Plus. So all of these games are going to be on Sky Sports Plus, even Millwall's game. As announced in June, this season's Carabao Cup requires a preliminary round ahead of round 1 due to 9 Premier League teams being involved in Europe. In the preliminary round, Barnet will host Newport County, whilst Oldham face a trip to Accrington Stanley. Who are they exactly? The date and kick-off time for the 2 round 1 ties involving the winners of the preliminary round will be confirmed following those fixtures. All round 1 ties will take place from Tuesday the 12th of August and Wednesday the 13th of August. So yeah, it's either going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll see. But if you look here in the southern section, what have we got? We've got Swansea City versus Crawley Town. Now I believe Swansea is kind of close to Newport. And we've also got Cardiff at home to Swindon Town. I would imagine, unless they are thick as shit, that South Wales Police would put Newport County versus Millwall on the Wednesday, because you have Cardiff at home and you have Swansea at home. And you wanna do something. You don't want 3 South Wales teams playing on the same day at the same time. Although if it's Barnet, maybe it does take place on Tuesday. But luckily, I didn't know this. We get 2 weeks' notice, so fantastic, fandabidozi, as they say up in Glasgow. Fandabidozi. Now that Crystal Palace game. Yes, can you believe it? Can you believe it? This is from southwarknews.co.uk, who obviously publish on a Thursday. Go and pick up a copy from your local Tesco, Express or other supermarket. Millwall announced behind closed doors friendly against Crystal Palace. Well, why announce it if it's behind closed doors? Just play the game and tell us. Well, you see. Well, you can watch it. You can watch it on your television. Millwall announced they will face Crystal Palace in the behind closed doors friendly on Saturday, July the 12th, with the match kicking off at midday. Yes, Mad Dogs and Millwall team go out in the midday sun. The game will be streamed on Millwall TV, with fans able to watch the match by purchasing their match pass. Further streaming information will be released in due course, as in how much. The Lions last met Crystal Palace in the FA Cup 5th round last season, losing 3-1 at Selhurst Park. The Eagles went on to win the competition, their first ever major trophy, and finished 12th in the Premier League. The fixture will be Mill's first of pre-season, with Alex Neil in the squad heading to Murcia, Spain shortly afterwards for a week-long training camp. There they will face Northampton Town on Tuesday, July the 15th, before taking on a team to be confirmed on Friday, July the 18th. The kick-off time for that match is still yet to be announced. Both games will take place at the Pinatar Arena. The Lions will then return to England to complete their pre-season schedule with 3 away fixtures at the mighty AFC Wimbledon, the mighty Bromley, and the mighty Sutton United. There you go. Why leave the M25? Why? Why? And I imagine that there should be a home friendly on the week before the season starts. There always is. So we'll see who that is. We still have to find out who this team on Friday, July the 18th is. But we are playing Crystal Palace. Now, a lot of fans shocked at this. They're shocked and disgusted after what happened. Their chairman and the lynching, the public, character assassination of Liam Roberts. But he's left now, so, I guess we can crack on. I don't know, but this is the thing. We've done this before. I believe the game will be held at Crystal Palace, just because they have better facilities. They have, a better training ground. If you didn't know this, Mill's training ground and Crystal Palace's training ground is literally on the same road at Beckenham. Was it Coops Park Road or something like that? It's literally 10 minutes down the road. And you imagine, well, why would Palace's training ground be in Beckenham? Surely it should be like in Croydon or Sutton or somewhere like that. No, it's in Beckenham. Just down the road from Millwall's ground. And, the players, they probably see each other all the time. They're driving down the same road, they know each other, and etc., etc. What you got to realise is the animosity that the fans have for each other, that doesn't translate, to the footballers. It's not at all, it's not really, but it's not something that comes into their mind, really. Just fellow professional footballers doing a very unique job. And, they don't really have that kind of animosity. They have personal animosity, for players that they feel that have, done things against them, trespassed against them in terms of, tackles and stuff like that. Or maybe they've said something on the pitch that's a bit shitty. But in terms of, just general animosity, that doesn't exist amongst professional footballers because, if they lose their job at Millwall, where are they going to go? Well, they're going to try and get a job at another local team, Crystal Palace, because if not, you're going to have to commute a long distance or maybe relocate. And what you got to realise is if you're, working in football and you don't have, it's a nightmare to get a mortgage, to get any kind of insurance or things like that. So having to, change home if you've bought a house rather than just rent is, it's a nightmare, and you don't want to just piss people off and, restrict yourself from working for a team just because they're the rivals of the team that you're working for at the moment. It's not what professional, sports people and sports workers do. That's not what they do. So, yeah, Crystal Palace in a behind closed doors game. And, we did this before. Was it... Who scored? Was it... No, I think... Was it Creswell scored, did he? Because it was on Mill TV before when we played Crystal Palace at their place, and it was on Mill TV. I think it was Creswell, because I think, didn't Dan Ballard score against Arsenal? I think Creswell scored against Palace. So yeah, there you go. This is happening. So there you go. Although I suspect, I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow or Saturday. It might happen midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, because the club used to do this before. I don't know if they're going to do it under Alex Neil, because obviously this is his first pre-season, but they did it before under Alex Neil, under Neil Harris. Is they would get someone in, usually Bromley. They would get Bromley in, but obviously we're playing them pre-season, so I don't think it will be them. Although we have been to Reading as well, so we do play behind closed doors against Reading. I think that was last summer. But they would play, instead of playing 2 45 minutes, they would play 3 20 minutes. So instead of 2 halves, they would play 3 thirds and play 20, 20, and then 20. So I don't know if they're going to get... I suspect that they might get someone in for that. Maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. But we'll see. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just wait until that game next week. But... because after that, we got the Crystal Palace game on the Saturday, the 12th. And then we play Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, I'm assuming Saturday. So we got, 2 games in a week from now until the season starts. So we'll see how that works out. Now we are moving on to... We're moving on to this. More pictures from training. A video, but then some pictures from training. So after a rest day on Wednesday, It was back to business for the Lions on Thursday. Take a look at the best of the action from the latest double session from Calmont Road in a gallery below. And there you go. Aidomu Emaku. AJ Matthews there. Benicio Baker. Billy Mitchell. Casper Denor. Daniel Kelly. Femi Aziz. Joe Bryan, Tristan Kramer, Josh Coburn, Jafet Tanganga, Adam Mayer in the background, Kamal Grant, Kevin Nisbet, Baidoir, Luke Cundall with his dyed hair, trying to stand out, are we? Max Kacom in trackies again. In a sweatshirt and trackies in 33 degrees weather. Mad fucking bastard. Ivanovic. New number 9. Number 9. Langstaff. Rahis Bangor Williams. Ryan Leonard. Thumbs up. Sheldon Kendall. Tristan Kramer. Wes Harding. Jay Cooper there. Looking a bit like George Evans. Remember him? Not the goalkeeper George Evans. The older midfielder George Evans who left. Back to Kamal Grant. Rahis Bangor Williams. Who's that in the background? Is that Jack Howland in the background? And we're back. Gone back around. So there you go. Pictures from training. Was anybody not there? Was anybody not there? Not sure. I'm not sure. Can't remember. Probably Zach Lovelace, wasn't he? Probably is he injured again, Zach Lovelace? Would not surprise me. Now, we're going to finish today's video by mentioning this. Mill team up with Kwiff. Not Kwiff. Kwiff. Yeah, exactly. Who are they? Millwall Football Club is pleased to announce that Kwiff has become an official UK betting partner of the Lions. Founded in 2015, Kwiff is supercharging sports betting with the player in mind, aiming for a bigger, better and more entertaining experience. Rather than boosts and enhancements, Kwiff delivered a supercharged betting experience. After placing a bet, the odds of any selection on any market at any time can be supercharged, meaning the possibility of greater returns. This partnership follows the launch of Kwiff's innovative curfew tool, allowing users to customize their platform access restrictions during specific time periods across the day, strengthening their commitment to responsible gaming and giving players great control over their access. Curfew complements Kwiff's real-time player monitoring system, which tracks behaviour to detect potential risks. Kwiff's effort in responsible gaming has been recognised by GameCare, which awarded the company the Safer Gambling Standard certification. I'm sure, they track the behaviour to detect potential risks of, people who might win. If you win too much, they will tell you to F off. We can't have winners. We want losers. Kwiff are also sleeve sponsors for Millwall in the Emirates FA Cup 5th round tie against CrystalPalace in March 2025. Director of Acquisition at Kwiff, Gary McKibben, said, "It's great to enter into this partnership with Millwall FC and we're excited to see how it progresses. The foundation of any strong partnership is the people you work with. If our experience so far is anything to go by, it's going to be a privilege working with a proper football club with such strong traditions, and we're really looking forward to it." Luke Wilson, commercial director at the Den, added, we're thrilled to be continuing our relationship with Kwiff, following on from their sleeve sponsorship of our FA Cup 5th round tie last season. Within the competitive market, they have quickly established themselves in this fast growing and innovative brand, and we're looking forward to working with Gary and his team throughout the coming season as we continue to support the growth of their brand within the UK. And you can visit Kwiff's website at kwiff.com. Kwiff.com. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.